training number 8. I can't believe it. It is almost done. It's done. Tonight we're going to talk about Show Me the Money. It's my favorite thing. Favorite thing to talk about. So, one thing I want you to do is make sure, if you haven't done this already, it was actually homework for this week, but I think we forgot to mention it last week. But to listen to the money and inventory management recording on my website. Have you listened to that yet? It's when you go on to Stoke Strong, there you'll see a recording line that has like, I think 11 different mailboxes on it with different subjects, and it's all that I've recorded. And this is actually one that you can listen to. There's video training, which all of these are on, and then there's audio training as well, so you can listen to those. But the one for money and inventory management is really, really good. It's really good. And it's going to go over the business tracking register, how you manage your money, how you split it out, and profit, and all of that. So, it's really good. That was scary. Nothing like thunder. All right. Okay, what I want to show you tonight is how the numbers work. Really pretty simple. We're going to go over a classy way to succeed. Okay, and what I want to show you is kind of the process of the number of parties equals your amount of success. And just like it says at the top, you can have anything you want as long as you're willing to pay the price. And I will tell you, I mean, nothing will ever replace that party scenario. And they're fun, aren't they? Yeah. You know, when you've got this group of women sitting around the table and you're walking them through the process and you're watching them fall in love with the product, there's nothing that replaces it. I just love it. There's such a thrill to it. And the means to every end in Mary Kay happens in a skincare class or a party. It just does. So what I want to show you is how, if you're looking at moving up the career path, how your activity equals that movement, okay? One of the things that I loved most when I looked at Mary Kay was knowing that I could not buy my way through. You know, that someone can't start a Mary Kay business, invest $50,000 and become a sales director. I love that because then it makes it fair. We all have to work our way to it. And that's what I love. So if you got the guts, you know, go for it, which is exciting. So, but let's take a look at really that movement. And if you look at the top where it goes across the top, classes, interviews, and team members. If you want to be a senior consultant, okay, senior consultant is 1 to 2 active team members on your team. You're earning a 4% commission from Mary Kay. Then you want to look at, in order to add 1 to 2 team members, hold 4 classes. Classes or parties, it's the same thing. We call them the same thing. You're going to hear me call it a skincare class. You're going to hear me call it a party. It's the same thing. It all depends on who says what. Okay, same thing. But if you were to hold 4 parties, then from those 4 parties, you should have 8 sharing appointments from that. Because what we do is at every party, we look for at least 2 women to share the opportunity with. Okay. Now there's some parties that you would recruit every single woman sitting around that table, and then others maybe not necessarily. But it's going to average out that we're looking for at least 2 women to share the opportunity with. The hostess is always one of your best people to share with, because she is the one who had the credibility to get those people together. She held it, you know, she got everybody to her house, and voila, it happened. So she's always someone we like to share with. And then you find someone else at that party that you want to share. And so what you want to look at is, and this is based on the company average is 1 out of 5 women should say yes. Now I kind of go with 1 out of 4, to be honest. With our unit, it's about 1 out of 4. So if you share the opportunity with 8 women, that should bring you 1 to 2 team members. Okay, if it's 1 out of 4, it should be 1 to 2. Okay, so then next, if your goal is to be a star team builder, if you want to earn your red jacket, hold 6 parties. Okay, team leader, let's look at this, going on target for your car. Now this is where it's getting exciting. If you want to earn a car, focus on holding 10 parties a month. Okay, 10 parties a month, because from that, if you look at the top there, 10 classes or parties. If you pick two women from each one of those, there's 20 interviews. 1 out of 4 should bring you 5 team members. Okay. All right. Director and qualification. All right. Let's take a look at that. In order to go into qualification to become a sales director, you need to have 10 active team members. Those are your personal team members. And so if your goal is to become a sales director in the next 4 to 6 months, then I would recommend, all right, hold 20 parties. Okay? Because from that, you're going to see enough people to find the 10 that you're looking for. Okay? All right. And then, of course, to earn your car, Grand Achiever, which, of course, is the Chevy Cruze now, that's 24 classes. Okay? So if you want to earn a car, you're like, I need a car. All right? Let's earn a car. If you do, then what I would recommend you focus on is, okay, how quick can you hold 24 parties? See, that's what's really cool. And the thing is with this, is with these numbers, they need to be done closer in, okay, because of the momentum. Because there's a difference in holding 24 parties in a 2-month time frame as opposed to 24 parties in a year. You see the difference? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, this has been exactly what I have had some of my consultants to do, is when that switch flicks, I need a car, then that's exactly what they focus on, are the parties. And so what I recommend you do then is, you know, to me, once you make the decision, I mean, once your purpose is crystal clear, everything then begins to fall into place. You know, then you begin to see how, and I always go back to this, how you're planning your life out. Then you see how all this makes sense. Or then you see where, okay, what am I going to shift around in my schedule so that I can make 24 parties happen in the next 2 months? It's amazing what can happen when we want it to. You know, that's what I love. And I will tell you, it never fails. Once you decide and you commit to, I'm going to do this, and really you think of it this way, do I know 24 women who'd be willing to help me out? Or you may be like, well, I don't know 24, but I know 12. Well, that's all you need, because from those 12, the other ones are coming, you know, because you're going to get your bookings. So you may not know 12, you may know 5. Well, 5 will bring you 10, 10 will bring you 20, you know. So I always say, don't wait until you get it all figured out, just begin. But kind of, you know, take your calendar and decide, all right, if the goal is to earn a car, well, when do I want it by? And once you pick that date, I want it by this date, you work back and figure out, okay, what do I need to do? I need to do 24 parties. Okay, where am I going to fit this 24 in? Okay, now look at sales director. Okay, now at sales director, see where it says 42 parties. All right, the 42, that brings you 24 active team members. Now, here's the deal. Once you have completed your 20 for DIQ, okay, once you complete 20 and you've entered in DIQ, you and your team members, okay, so it's you plus your 10, so there's 11 of you. You and your team members need to hold 4 parties each to complete it. Okay? So you have your 10 plus yourself, that's 11 people. If 11 people all hold 4 parties, that's 44 parties. 1 out of 4, there'd be 11. All right? And that's what you need, because you're already, that puts you right at your 24. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where you kind of, you take the bigness of Mary Kay and what's available for you, and you break it down into, well, what do I need to do to get there? And one thing that will never change is what it takes. And the price that is to be paid is holding parties. There's no way around it. You know, and that's one thing I have certainly learned over the years. I have not achieved the success I have by not holding parties. And I'm holding them to this day. You know, they're on my calendar now because I know that's where everything comes from. And that's where my new team members are coming from. They're seeing me do it, so they get it. Of course, we will all have recruits who come in because she's excited or she knows you, she trusts you. That's different. That's different. But the majority of your business is going to come from this activity.
Yeah.
People you don't know. That's your future. That's what I love. That's what I love. And I will tell you, these numbers don't lie. So looking at this, Ashley, what excites you when you look at this? What is it, if you look at this little career path right here, what are you motivated by most, like right now?
Well, then
What do you want the car? You want the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I will tell you, it is, the car program is my favorite.
Yeah.
And you've heard me say that. It is amazing what happens when you drive a Mary Kay car.
Yeah.
Everything changes. Mm-hmm. Even though it's not a pink Cadillac yet, it changes because people are like, oh, a car. Yeah, it's right there. They can touch it, they can feel it. They see Mary Kay insignia everywhere they look. Mary Kay gave you that card, yes. I worked for it, but yes, they're paying for it. And that frees up. I mean, how much would that save your household income if you had totally changes household situation, completely changes it. It allows you to make some really amazing decisions, and different decisions. I love that. Okay, so just kind of, you may not have even thought this thought, but when would you like to have a car? All right. Okay, so let's take a look at that then, Ashley, because you know what, if you look at it like this, if you say, okay, well, if I break it down into activity, that's just 24 parties.
Right.
So then you look at, okay, well, how many parties am I willing to hold every single week? So what would that be? How many do you think that would be?
Right now, it has not been many, but I could definitely do the 3 because
Okay.
it's not that much.
No.
Like you
it
said,
isn't.
2 hours. So
Yeah, okay. All right, so 3 parties a week. Okay. So you're looking at into 60-day time frame.
yeah, wow.
That's exciting. So instead of looking at the bigness of the car, now, and now let's not look at 24 parties. Now let's look at 3 a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could do 3 a week, then what do you think you need to do? Like tonight, when you leaving tonight in the next 24 hours, kind of seeing what you have coming up, what could you do to start lining up 3 parties held a week? What would you need to do in the next 24 hours? Yeah, that's exactly it. Just say, do you want to pay for it or would you like to get it for free?
Yeah.
That's what I always ask. You want to pay for it, you want to get it for free? She says, well, free would be better. Okay, can you get some girlfriends together?
Yep.
That's it. Instead of literally saying host a party, I never say that. Just say, let's get some girlfriends together.
Okay.
Do you think you can get 5 friends together? Because then that's 6 people. That's upping your odds.
Right.
Getting in front of people.
Yeah.
That's a great way to book.
Yeah.
The product is always the magnet.
Yeah.
It's always the magnet. That is fun. Okay. All right. So if we're looking at, all right, we're about middle of August. Okay. How about the next 24 hours? Let's see what you can get accomplished.
Okay.
Okay. And then touch back base with me and tell me what you have.
Okay.
Okay. And let's really start working towards this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, actually, there's no reason why to say I like to have a car someday.
Yeah.
Someday's not a day on the calendar. But if you begin to just go into the activity that's going to put you to that position, you're going to be more likely to hit it.
Right.
And then as it begins to come into play, it's going to become more real to you.
Right.
I remember thinking, I'll never earn a car. Seriously, really. But when I made that decision, I had it earned in 3 months.
Yeah.
And that was making 3 major moves around the country at the same time. So my point is, if I can do it during that, there's no reason why you can't. You've got some stability.
Yeah.
I had nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, everybody was keeping my address in pencil because I was moving so much. So, okay, so that's exciting, right? So I want you to keep this out,
Okay.
and keep it in front of you all the time, and literally make yourself a tracking sheet and track it 1 through 24,
Okay.
and just start counting it out. And the cool thing is, count your faces. Okay, so you might want to track it out and do, you got one line that says hostess, woo, thunder, and then number of faces, number of bookings from each party, number of interviews, and sales. And also track number of referrals.
Okay.
Referrals are big because referrals are just leading you to more and more people. Yep, perfect. Okay. The next thing is I was talking about tonight, IPAs, income producing activities. Okay, I'm going to teach you how you really work this and show you how this goes into this. Okay, all right. With this sheet, this is to track, a month at a time. And this is what I do. Now, mine's a little different tracking as a director, but as a consultant, this is honestly, if you want to know the secret to success in Mary Kay, it is this activity right here. That's it. If you'll notice on here, nowhere does it say shuffling foundations.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We don't make money doing that. We focus on the things that bring us money. Now, there's other things we need to do behind the scenes, but we don't get points for that, It's these things right here primarily. That's what's going to bring you what you want from the business. And so what I do every single week, so we begin a week, and every Sunday night I do this. It's been a ritual of mine forever and ever and ever. I sit down and I plan my week out. And so what you want to do is you take your date book, you flip that open, you take your income producing activities tracking sheet, and then you take a piece of notebook paper. Okay? And this is something that goes in my 3-ring binder as well. It's all in there. Okay? And so what you do then is you begin to look at your week. So let's say, let's do it, for instance, you've got 3 parties coming up this week.
Okay.
Okay. And so like on your sheet of paper, then you would write, because our whole goal is, if our goal is to earn a car, okay, then that is to complete 20 or more IPAs a week. All right.
Okay.
So what we want to do is our goal is to hit at least 20 IPAs.
Okay.
So my goal is, can I count up 20 IPAs a week? So on a sheet of paper, you literally write number 1. And let's say tomorrow night you have a party, and I'll say the hostess is Sally. So I'll write Sally party by number 1, okay? Because I know, I look at all the income producing activities and I figure out how can I get points, okay? So I got a party tomorrow night. Sally's my hostess. So I write number 1, Sally party. Now, what all can we get from that party? Well, all right, I know I can get 2 new bookings from it, right? So I would write number 2, write out 2 new bookings, then I write a 1 and a 2 underneath that. So then I know when I'm going to Sally's party, my goal is to get an IPA because I want 2 bookings. Okay, what else can we get from it? Well, sales, which is D. Okay, so, how many? I always go by the number of faces that are there. And if you've confirmed she has 5 guests coming plus herself, then I'm going to write 6 times, because $100 for each IPA. So then I'd go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to write $100 by each one. Number 3, 100. Number 4, 100. Okay? So I know, okay, if I've got 6 people there, my goal is to sell 600. Okay? So for instance, the $900 party I did, there were 8 guests there, and I sold 900.
Wow.
Okay? But see, I went in knowing I've got 8 guests going.
Yeah.
So my mind was, okay, I'm going to have some hot sales tonight.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, what else? How many more? Now, how many IPAs are we up to now? We're up to 8, I think. Okay. All right, 1 recruiting packet handed out with a set time for an interview. Well, I know that I want 2 to 3 interviews, because if there's 6 guests there, I always say 1 out of 2.
Okay.
All right, so I'm like, and if I pre-profiled them, maybe I'm starting to like these people. So I'm going to do, let's say, number 9, 10, 11, interview, okay? Or actually, packet, you write down packet, 9, 10, 11, okay? And then, from those, when you hand out a recruiting packet, you set up a time for an interview. Well, if I hand out 3, I need to have 3 interview times set up for this week. I want it this week, okay? So that could give me 3 more IPAs. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Now look where we are, 11, 12, 13, we're at 14.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, now, we're not even done yet. Okay, like you've got your meeting this week. Do I have any guests to meeting? That helps you, okay, I want 2 guests, so I could get on the phone and get a couple guests for this week. Got it? Okay, we're up to 16. Okay, now look at H. 5 new names and numbers. There's your referrals.
Yep.
If you have 6 women there at that party, and they each give you at least 5 names, there's 30 new names. Do you see? So that would give you 6 more IPAs. You're already almost at 20 at one party.
Yeah.
Do you see how
That's
that works?
not that bad. Once you put it
See?
in that, yeah.
Exactly.
That's good.
And then, surely to goodness, out of my interviews, I could add a team member this week.
Yeah.
So that's how this works. But what you want to do, though, is you gotta start with the end in mind. And if your goal is to have at least 20 IPAs, you got to be tracking them. Instead, what a lot of people do is they take this sheet of paper, and as they go through the week, then they're like, oh, I sold $100. I'm going to give myself, I'm going to write D right there in number 1. They don't plan out the 20. It's just like, let me see what happens. And they get to the end of the week, and they're like, oh, my goal was to do 20, and I only did 10. How'd that happen? It's because you weren't inspecting what you're expecting.
Right.
You know, if you expect to do a car week of 20 IPAs, you've got to make that happen. Okay, it just doesn't naturally happen. Um, in any type of sales goal or sales kind of, business that you're in, you've got those benchmarks that you're wanting to hit, and which all equates down to your daily routine. Okay, everything that you do in this business is going to come down to a daily routine. It's what we do every single day. And what we do every single day is not necessarily glamorous. It isn't. There is a fortune in follow-up. I will tell you that. Follow-up is key, and there's a fortune in it. Follow up in everything that you do. Number one, people love that attention that they get in that personal service because it really makes you stand out of the crowd. But there's a fortune in it, because if you say to someone, you interviewed her and I'll follow up with you within 24 hours, do it. She might be waiting to say yes to you.
Right.
If you don't call because you're afraid she may say no, well, she might be just going to say yes. We can't be afraid of it. And that's where I like to make tracking IPAs a game, because then I know, well, I did it. I did the work, so I can give myself an IPA, but really what I did is I did what I didn't want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, does that help? Does that kind of help to bring this to life?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's less intimidating not going through it just from one party, from one party standpoint.
I mean, look at what your week can look like.
Yeah.
It can be drastically different,
Mm-hmm.
where you're doing 30, 40, 50 IPAs in a week. I'm telling you, you're doing that, the sky's the limit. You're going to have whatever you want in the business. But do you see how everything revolves from the actual party?
Mm-hmm.
That is our secret to success right there, is that's where the magic happens, is surrounding that table.
Right.
That's the part I love the most. All right, okay, and then I'll show you what I did with my handouts. I'll look through my bag, I don't know where they are. But to kind of bring into perspective a difference between consultant money and being a sales director, okay? It's drastically different, because we're paid so differently as a sales director. And the reason that we have the bonus and commission structure we do is because Mary Kay Corporate wants to make sure that the business continues to run,
Mm-hmm.
that Mary Kay is still in business, and they count on the sales directors to keep the business going. And so by doing that, they pay us extremely well in different bonus levels. But this is a great little scenario in the difference between the same kind of work that you're doing, just as a sales director, you're doing it with more people. But this can show you as a consultant, like your personal wholesale order, if you do like a 600 wholesale, in order to receive a 13% commission, okay? The highest commission you can earn as a consultant is 13%. We have 4%, 9%, or 13%, okay? To get 13% is within a month that you personally do a minimum 600 wholesale, okay? When you have 5 active team members and each of those 5 order at least 225 in a month,
Mm-hmm.
and you placed a 600, you get your 13%, okay? If you don't, if you have 5 active and you don't personally do a 600, you're going to get 9%, okay? But I always say go for the 13, it's your highest, okay? And this kind of shows you a scenario in like your total team production. To go on target for your card is 5,000 wholesale in a month. Okay, so this gives you a breakdown. If you have a new consultant, she started, let's say in a month she did 2,000, another one 1,800, another one at 600, one did 400, and another one maybe a 200. With your 600, that adds you up to your 5,000. Okay, now doing that same kind of work as a sales director. Okay, I'm personally ordering 600, and if these were my personal team members coming in, okay, just like you, same thing, personal team, we both did our 5,000. Okay, the difference is for commission based, you're only going to get paid on what your team actually does.
Mm-hmm.
I get paid on team plus me.
Wow.
Okay, which is really kind of cool. All right, because I'm part of my unit,
Right.
so I get 13% on whatever I do.
Nice.
So I kind of place an order and turn it around and pay myself back.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. But you will get, because you had some new consultants coming in, at least 600, you're getting $50 bonuses for each of them, so you get an extra 150. Okay, your team production, you're getting 13% of that, which is 650. So your total commission for the month is 800. So that's $800 commission from the company. Get excited. on target for your car and not including the sale of your product. But look at the difference as a sales director, doing the same thing. If this was all I had working in my unit, just me and 5 people, okay? The difference is because of all the different ways that we're paid, you got 800, I got 2478.
Wow.
It triples. And it's so fun. Anytime with a DIQ, her last month in DIQ, I always tell her, figure what your commission is going to be, because next month as a sales director, you're going to at least triple it. And it always happens.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so fun to watch. I remember with Ashley, I remember when it happened, her commission tripled the next month. Isn't that fun?
That's good, yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But that's how the company pays us, okay? And of course, we make much, much, much more than that.
Right.
So, which is exciting. But this literally could look like you're a consultant one month and a director the next.
Right.
It could look just like that, which is fun, okay? But there's the difference in leadership. Again, the same kind of work. You're still holding parties. You're mentoring a few more people. But Mary Kay's paying you for your leadership.
Right.
That's what I like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of brings things to life. I had an offspring director that when she saw that she was a consultant and she was doing well, but it had not clicked with her yet. And when I sat down and said, okay, this is what you did this month, had you been a director, your paycheck this month would have looked like that. That was it. And she turned it on and became a sales director. It's funny saying, she goes, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I'm leaving so much money on the table. I'm like, yeah, I tried to tell you that. But that's exciting because here's the thing, Ashley, is when you're ready to make that call of financial independence, more choices for my family, you have the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you all are moving to Nashville, you're moving, he's doing a parallel move, which is great. Thank goodness he can do it. But see, he's not in control of that. Right? Where you are.
Right.
You are the one in control of it. So that is my greatest motivator, is that my husband is happy. That motivates me more than anything, that I know when he walks out the door every morning, he's going to work out of want to instead of have to. That is huge for me. And he loves the fact that I can be at home. He loves that I don't have the boardroom battle.
Yeah.
He loves it. He kind of likes that little protection, that I have. He's like, it's a vicious world out there, Amy. And he's like, he leaves work in the morning and, I'm in my workout clothes. But it's amazing because of the executive income that I make without all the politics and the pressure.
Right.
And I'm able to run our home and take care of all those things. I get all that. Plus, provide for the family too. So it's kind of cool. And that's what I want women to see, is that this truly is unlimited opportunity. It can be whatever you want. However, you got to be willing to pay the price. You got to pay the price. And the price is what you do every single day. And you get out, and the more women that you love on, the more successful you're going to be. It's really, really cool. It's never changed in my 21 years. Same thing. Same thing I learned in the beginning is still the same. So, what questions do you have?
I don't think I have any questions. That makes more sense now.
Okay,
I
good.
wasn't getting it before, but it makes more sense the way that you're saying to do
Yes.
it. Plan it out ahead of time.
Plan
This is what I want. This is what I want to come out
Yes.
of what I do this week.
Yep.
So
Okay.
yeah,
perfect.
that makes more sense.
Okay, awesome. All right. So your homework is going to be, I want you to complete an IPA sheet for yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and pick it up from this week and start and go, okay, well, here's my goal. And especially focus on holding 3 parties a week.
Okay.
Now, know that in that you're going to need to overbook a little bit because, as you know, things cancel and change and move around. So, but that's where, again, owning your schedule is a critical part.
Right.
Because then I will work on these times.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. So you'll learn kind of that feeling of, I think I better double book this time. I think this one might not hold.
Yeah.
You're going to get a feel. You kind of know people.
Yeah.
You know the ones that's going to hold it and or not.
Yep.
But that's where you kind of have some wiggle room in your schedule a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But know that, just like if the restaurant calls and you go in, okay, this is my Mary Kay time.
Yep.
And you're out the door and you're working.
Yep.
You're doing it. you treat it with that same thought process. This is my job. This
Right.
is what I do for a living, and I am going to be serious about this, and my time is precious. You know, so you don't cancel a party to go to a barbecue.
Right.
You know, like, I'm sorry, I have a party. I'm
Yeah.
working. But I'll tell you, if you do it early on, the people around you respect you so much more, and they very much respect your time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my family knows they can't just call and plan something
Right.
at the spur of the moment with me. They know they can't.
Yeah.
You've got to give her some time because her schedule is very valuable, and like, my business is a priority because it's how I pay my life. So just like they go to work too,
Yeah.
and they respect that. Okay, so do your IPAs
Okay.
for the week, and bring it back next week. I can't wait to see it. Or shoot a picture of it when you finish it. You write out
Yeah.
your IPAs and finish it. Okay, let me see. 1, 2. I think you only have like a couple to make up. I think that's it. I think so. Okay, cool. Got your homework assignment. And you get the really cute mug
Oh,
when you do that.
cool.
Yeah, so if you want to snap a picture of it and send it to me. It's so
Love
cute.
it.
So cute. All right, you'll get prizes next week. So
Ah,
that's
cool.
fun. Yay!